This is an extension pole. You know, for painting and stuff. It's carbon fiber. It's lightweight. And it collapses down to a length of about 2 feet. It extends to about 10 feet. This is a boat dock hook. And if you don't know what this is for, you'll have to stick around to find out. So it's 15 foot, one pass. So let's say you like to hunt it 20, 25 feet, which is pretty high for the average hunter. You'll use your second safety tether or your main tether for your saddle. Take your sender off. Loosen your rappel so that your main safety tether is tight. You can even straddle the tree like this. Take your rappel and give yourself about 8 to 10 foot of slack. Okay. Now at this point, you've got two choices. You can loosen this main safety tether, and with each pass, raise it up, or you can just take it off, like so, and clip it to your system, whichever one you want to do. And then it's just heading right back up. Like that. Now, that's two passes. That is 23 feet. 23 feet.
So if it were me, I don't think I would ever hunt higher than 23 feet. That's pretty high. So I would probably hang my platform right here, get my gear set up, or honestly, I'd probably be a little bit lower, but I'd hang my platform, which would be clipped right here. So I'd unclip my platform, put it right here, climb up onto it, take this tether, tie it to the tree, take this tether, set it up above this tether, and then I'd be ready to hunt. Now, this rope serves a dual purpose. Just as quickly as I got up the tree, and the reason I love this system is because all I have to do to get out of the tree is throw my gear on, pack it all up at the stand, put it in my backpack. The last thing I'll take off would be my platform. So I get all my gear on my back, maybe drop my bow down the tree using my secondary tether, which is non-load bearing. And as soon as my platform comes off, which I would rappel down to, it just snaps into the back of my saddle. And then coming down the tree, is that quick. But wait, there's more. So once I get the rappel off, all I have to do is give this rope a good pull, and the whole system will come down. Okay? So Ash, before I do that, if you want to zoom in here to my gear, we'll show them the gear. So the pole's already up the tree. The gear is very simple. We have a $30 ascender, left or right hand, whichever one you prefer, with a carabiner, and a safety foot harness. This is 50 to 60 bucks for all this. I have a homemade safety tether that is tied. It's literally 12 millimeter rope, 8 foot long, and that I cut to the length I preferred and made by hand. Okay, I'm gonna pack this back up because it's in the way. You have 80 foot of gorilla rope. I think this is 8 millimeter or 9 millimeter gorilla rope. I bought this around COVID, so I have no idea what it costs now, but generally rope's not that bad. This is probably 100 bucks nowadays. Then we have a Virgo Trango rappel descension system and ascension system. This is probably the most expensive piece of gear in this entire setup. I'm pretty sure this is a $100 piece of equipment, okay? But to be honest, this thing is awesome. So, how it works. Ascender clips into non-load bearing rope. So you can look up at the knot. The rope that comes out of the knot is a non-load bearing rope. You cannot put weight on it. Okay, so it's very important that when you're climbing the tree, you get that rope out of the way so you don't grab the wrong rope. This clips onto this. I can raise it up, but I can't pull it down. Okay? Foot goes into this, and then your rappel system follow the instructions on it. It'll have an arrow that says up like this. That means the rope. So the rope goes in like this, and Ash, if you can zoom in on that to show it.
Okay.
Good. The housing closes like so, and then you clip your carabiner in like that. Now it's locked. Now when you're coming down to your saddle, make sure that you don't get it twisted, because you can twist this upside down and then it becomes very difficult to ascend up because it's backwards. So you want to make sure the orientation's correct. This is the correct orientation. That would be the wrong orientation. And then it's as simple as, we'll do it real slow for you. Put your foot in your tether, or in your ascender. I'm gonna raise this hand up, push down with my foot, and then as I'm coming up, all I'm gonna do is pull my slack, like so. Got it? Toe in tree, kick up, pull the slack, okay? Raise it up, pull the slack. The other really nice thing about this system, let's say you've hunted till noon, you want to get out, you want to get on the ground quick, maybe you want to get down, take a nap, you want to get down and eat, get down, stretch your legs. Once the rope's where it needs to be, again, you can get up and down the tree very quickly. Now I'm tied into this system, I don't have to worry about falling. Very different than a set of ladders or climbing sticks where I have to tie in a lineman belt. They can kick out from me, can have all kinds of issues. I'm all up against the tree, working in tight quarters. I got all this space to work. And then when I want to come down to go get my lunch or take a nap, that's all I do. And then I tie in and I climb back up. So, last thing to show you. Let me get this rappel system off. You're done hunting. Sun's gone down. That's it. That's probably my favorite, one of my favorite parts too, is instead of coming down the tree and taking one step off at a time and then trying to clip it into your pack or drop it on the ground, it's literally just pull the rope, tighten this guy up, and then clip him in. And then take your rope off the tree. Now, some of you are probably like, well, yeah, that works great on a tree that has no limbs. It's just straight up. Well, a lot of the trees in Georgia have no limbs and they're just straight up, so it's perfect for this area. But let's say you're in Oklahoma and you got some gnarly oaks. The tree does not have to be straight for this system. There is a different method that you have to employ if you're trying to go up a tree with a bunch of limbs. Instead of clipping into the rope and, you know, going left and right to take it up the tree, you will simply hook on the outside of the hook, hook your noose, and then pass this over the limb and around the tree that you're trying to go up, and hook it or noose the tree above that limb. And then you would go up the tree in the same manner, tie in your safety tether, your main safety tether, pull this rope loose, and do the same thing again, or proceed to climb up the tree. Let's say you bypass the rogue limb, the rest is the same. So you can use it for either method. It works for any type of tree. It's just how clever are you in terms of getting the rope where you need it to be. So we hope you've enjoyed this video. There's one more point I do want to make. This whole system, the cinder, rappel, stick, and 80 foot of rope is only 5 pounds. I need to express how important that is. This is super lightweight climbing gear. To get a comparable pair of sticks, I think the only ones in existence right now that are at or below that weight would be the tethered one sticks, and they're $500. This system, let's say $100 for the rope. This pole is $65, and it's primarily because the pole is carbon fiber. That's where all the money comes from. The boat hook's like $5, $10. $60. Rappel system, $100. So this is like $300 of gear, $250, $300. You can get up the tree very quickly. It's lightweight. You can come down the tree very quickly. It pairs extremely well with a saddle. And to be honest, you could do it with a with a stand as well. All you'd need is like a $30 rock climbing harness. Instead of a $200 or $300 saddle or a homemade saddle, you can still use this climbing system if you have a rock harness. It's the same thing. And then when you get up the tree, now you've got your safety system, and that's your rock harness. So that's it. If you enjoyed the video, give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a comment. We haven't produced a whole lot of content. We're a pretty young channel. We started September of last year, and we're looking forward to the 2025 deer season. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you until next time. I almost forgot a couple tips that you're going to need to know. So, as you pass the tag in through the rope, the way this connects is you're going to take the band, you're going to capture the noose and the tag end, put it over the hook like this. Right? Now, this is the tree side. Hook will go like this. Not backwards, like this. So when you cinch down the tree, the rope to the tree, it cinches over the band and not the hook. You'll get a lot better grab if you do it this way. But you can see I've captured the tag end and the hook. It's really important because this will actually create a lot of stability so that when you're running the rope up the tree, it'll move and it'll be much more controlled, and you're not going to have a bunch of slack going everywhere. Okay, so that's the first tip. Second tip, in your rope, you need to, at the midway point, so at about 40 foot, put some tape around it, because this is where you want to tie your alpine butterfly hitch. Alpine butterfly hitch. Okay, that's the hitch that makes this whole system work. You will tie an alpine butterfly hitch at 40 feet and just leave it. You don't have to take it out. It can be permanent. Now, how to tie an alpine butterfly hitch is really easy. So I'll demonstrate that now. You're going to take one loop over the hand, 2 loops, 3 loops, okay? Take your middle loop, pass it under the outside loop, okay? Pull some slack. Now you're gonna take that loop, go over and around the other 2 loops and pull it like that, okay? And then you're just gonna cinch it down and dress it. My final tip is keep this loop small. You don't need a big loop. Use a small loop. It just works better for the whole system. Okay, so that's it. That's the Alpine butterfly hitch. Let's show you one more time how to do that. Grab your rope. 1, 2, and you basically just need to be able to see 3, okay? Middle rope goes, pull it under the outside rope, under, okay, like that, and then pass it through, over and through the other 2, like that, and then pull it tight. Dress it up. And that's it. So now the tag end that goes through the noose becomes the weight bearing tag end. The tag end that remains tied to the knot and not pass through the noose is your pull line. Okay? All right.